shape. The day we all went out to the site in North Phoenix, the governor, the mayor, and many other partners that were involved, it felt like 1,000 football fields under development. It's almost unfathomable. What we're building in Phoenix is a city. The site is nearly 2 miles in this direction and a little over 1 mile in this direction, a total of 1,140 acres. This is our first factory. It's under construction. I've been in the construction industry for 47 years. I've done a lot of airport terminal work, a lot of sports arenas. But once you see the side thing, you can understand, oh my goodness, this sucker big. The open span that we have going all the way across the bat is just, it's mind-boggling. The size of what we're working with. It very much gives the impression of like a science fiction movie in the sense that something really big is being built and it's going to be producing something really important and lots of really important things will come from that. It's creating thousands of jobs.
This morning we have right at 7,500 people working here today. They're pouring columns, they're pouring shear walls, they're pouring decks. We have a lot of forklifts, we have a lot of concrete trucks. This is the 8th largest crane manufactured in the world.
When I tell people where I work, they all know. They're like, oh, where all those cranes are. Yeah. I've been operating cranes for 8.5 years now. It's just a neat project. The community's proud to have this going up here.
To stand on that site and watch that many people working, it's like watching the Philharmonic Orchestra. It is just an experience extraordinaire.
Generations down the road are going to say, I remember when that North Phoenix campus was tumbleweeds and cactus. And now it's going to be the home of one of the most advanced technology companies and supply chains anywhere in the world.
TSMC and its manufacturing is going to become foundational to the new economy. Whether it's the renewable energy economy, whether or not it's the new way that we're going to be doing healthcare, they're all going to be technologically enhanced and driven by microelectronics.
We want Phoenix to become a global city, ground zero for semiconductors, if you will. TSMC is part of that process. It's vital to us achieving this global status. That's why we're so excited.
This is a pioneering event. This is brand new.
This will be the place where the most advanced chips in the world are being made.
Being able to say these wafers are made in the United States, made in America, makes me very proud.
This is the new era of emerging technology for the country, and it's happening right here in Phoenix, Arizona.
We hope you enjoyed the video. I would now...
Semiconductor manufacturing process is often...
We're still playing it. I would now like to welcome TSMC's leadership team to the stage to share a few remarks, starting with TSMC Chairman, Dr. Mark Liu.
Good morning. Governor-elect Hobbs, Mayor Gallego, TSMC founder Dr. Morris Chang, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathering here under the beautiful Arizona sky and celebrating a historic milestone. This is a milestone for TSMC, a milestone for the state of Arizona, and a milestone for the semiconductor industry in the United States. As we mark this special occasion, the first tool-in for our new Arizona fab, we're well on our way to bring up the most advanced semiconductor manufacturing technology in the United States, right here in the great state of Arizona. This fab is historic. It will produce the most advanced semiconductor chip at 4 nanometer when it goes in production in 2024, which will power the continuous innovations that improves every aspect of human life. It also represents the largest direct foreign investment in Arizona history and one of the largest direct foreign investment in the United States. Yet, that is not it. Today, I'm proud to announce the second new fab on this campus. It will produce the next generation semiconductor at 3 nanometer by 2026, which will be the most advanced semiconductor technology, enabling our next generation high performance and low power computing products in the future years. This new fab will bring a massive increase of investment for a total of $40 billion US right here on this campus. What we come to today will not be possible without the immense support from the city of Phoenix, from the state of Arizona, and from federal government. We're deeply grateful for the amazing friendship and support we have received today. We want to especially recognize the exceptional hard work of our Secretary Raimondo, Governor Ducey, which will be here later today, and Senator Kelly and Senator Sinema. We made this decision to invest in Arizona prior to the CHIP and Science Act. But their tireless efforts in passing this landmark legislation is pivotal to ensure the success of this project. As part of the advanced manufacturing process innovation, we fully committed to sustainability and green manufacturing. This fab will be the greenest fab in the United States. Spring out from the desert. This fab will continuously improve in energy, water, waste management, and air pollution mitigation. For example, this fab's main water source will be recycled water. We are in the planning stage for an on-site industrial reclamation water plant that, when not finished, will allow the site to have near zero liquid discharge. This is historic in our semiconductor industry. On the construction front, we want to acknowledge the tremendous effort for all our partners and our dear TSMC colleagues. That is the reason we are able to achieve a remarkable rapid pace of progress in this beautiful Silicon Desert. We announced the building of TSMC's Arizona fab in May 2020. We broke ground 11 months later. Now, 20 months out, we are celebrating the first two-in, getting ready to install the world's most advanced semiconductor manufacturing equipment. When completed, with both fabs, we will manufacture over 600,000 wafers a year, representing $10 billion yearly revenue, and with our customers' product sales over $40 billion a year. Its economic impact from this investment is already obvious. We have employed over 10,000 construction workers. It will accumulate at the phase 2 to be 21,000 construction workers. And we will create an additional 13,000 high-paying, high-tech jobs, including the 4,500 direct TSMC employees. Some 40 supply companies will locate nearby opening thousands of more local jobs. With this state-of-the-art facility, we are also expanding the opportunity for STEM talent in the state of Arizona and in the entire U.S., which in turn we hope to help further strengthen our STEM education momentum. The structure behind me has strategic meanings for the U.S. semiconductor industry that goes well beyond its physical presence. It substantiates that TSMC is a trusted friend, a partner, a supporter, a contributor to the U.S. semiconductor ecosystem that the entire digital economy depends upon. Building a semiconductor ecosystem, we cannot be alone. It requires close collaboration with our customers, such as Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, our supply partners, such as Applied Material, Lam Research, and ASML, and our digital design partners, represented by Cadence, Siemens, Synopsys, and all members of the TSMC Open Innovation Platform. We call this in TSMC the Grand Alliance. So, let us celebrate this special occasion that serves as the manifestation that TSMC is committed to building a strong semiconductor manufacturing ecosystem in the United States. Once again, we are truly grateful to the strong collaboration and partner from all of you here today. Let us work together to make the next decade a golden era for the semiconductor industry. Thank you very much. And now, may I have the honor to invite our TSMC founder, Dr. Morris Chang, to the stage for a special remark.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Governor-elect of the state of Arizona, Mayor Guerrero of Phoenix, partners of the TSMC Grand Alliance, that's a lot of people here, and ladies and gentlemen. When I started TSMC back in 1987, I had a dream. Probably because of my background, which up to that point was primarily American. Probably because of my background, my dream was to build fabs in the United States. So, 8 years from our startup, we started up in 1987, and in 1995, we broke ground in a town called Camas, which is in the state of Washington, just on the border. Camas is right on the border of Oregon. In fact, it's very close to Portland, Oregon. We call it WaferTech. It was a well-conceived semiconductor
factory. Its technology was completely up to date at that time. It was, I thought, a dream fulfilled. However, we ran into cost problems, we ran into people problems, we ran into culture problems, and before long, the dream fulfilled became a nightmare fulfilled. It took us several years to untangle ourselves from the nightmare. And I decided that I needed to postpone the dream. Just postpone it. 25 years passed, and we have a new chairman, Mark Liu, and he happens to share my dream. Now you see the partial, not yet fulfillment, but progress of the dream. Incidentally, this ceremony was called the first two-yin. Nobody outside Taiwan understood what that meant. So now it's called opening ceremony, which I did not understand. It is a Taiwan custom. I did not understand what the name meant at first. But now, I've heard it so many times. I've been in the first two-yin ceremony so many times. I now understand what it means. Basically, it means the end of the beginning. The end of the beginning for a factory, for a semiconductor factory. The romance of the beginning is gone. The initial excitement is gone. A lot of hard work remains. A lot of hard work. The 20-some years that passed witnessed a big change in the world. A big geopolitical situation, a big geopolitical change, a new situation. Globalization is almost dead. Free trade is almost dead. And a lot of people still wish they would come back. But I really don't think that they will be back for a while. In the meantime, because of the change in political situation, we know the new dream, well, actually the old dream revived, has the help of the U.S. government, the federal government, the state government, the local government. Not only that, we did learn from our experience earlier, and we are far more prepared now. Mark made the decision to build a modern fab here 2.5 years ago, and we hired almost 600 engineers, 600 engineers here a year and a half ago. We sent them to Taiwan, and they were under training in Taiwan for a year to a year and a half. In the meantime, about the same number of Taiwan engineers underwent training in Taiwan also. So before we see a single wafer, we have got more than 1,000 people being trained. This, I think, is a very good sign that we are prepared. It's a very good sign that my dream of 25 years ago will now be fulfilled by Mark. Anyway, I came here specifically to see the end of the beginning and to wish TSMC the best in the full expectation that we are going to have success. And it will be a very meaningful success, as Mark has just pointed out. And my dream lives. Thank you very much.
From such an inspiring gentleman. Thank you, Founder. TSMC is forever grateful for the support and collaboration of federal, state, and local government in bringing this project to life. We are honored to have Mayor Kate Gallego to speak on the journey that led us here. Mayor Gallego is the mayor of the 5th largest and fastest growing city in the nation, and she played a pivotal role in bringing TSMC to Phoenix. I would now like to welcome Mayor Kate Gallego to the stage.
Thank you for your leadership in bringing TSMC here and now ensuring the project is a great success. What an incredible day for the city of Phoenix. A few holiday seasons from now, the most advanced electronics will be made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. TSMC had already announced what was the largest foreign direct investment in Arizona state history. And you just heard our chairman announce it's more than tripling. Today is an amazing day for Phoenix. TSMC Chairman Mark Liu, Founder Morris Chang, CEO Dr. Ray, thank you for your kindness and the remarkable partnership. To our Arizona CEO, Rick Cassidy, and to Brian Harrison, our Senior Vice President for TSMC in Arizona, thank you for working with us and for making this historic investment in the city of Phoenix. It really is an exciting day for our community. Not only will the most advanced electronics be made in America, they will be made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. This would not be possible without the CHIPS Act. I want to thank President Biden for his investment and his partnership with our congressional delegation. TSMC made the announcement of the investment in Phoenix before the CHIPS Act, but it would not be quite as large of an investment as the one we've just heard about today without the CHIPS Act making it possible and making us competitive to create the very best electronics. We are so looking for your holiday shopping and so much more being made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. 3 years ago, I took my first bullet train ride ever with Christine Mackey, our amazing Economic Development Director at the City of Phoenix, and our great partners at the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. We were going to Taiwan and to visit the headquarters of TSMC to try to convince them that this would be their home. The land we're on today was then called Biscuit Flats. It had cacti and tumbleweeds, and it was right next to Ben Avery shooting range. We were a little bit nervous how we'd be received, talking about the most advanced manufacturing happening at something that sounded like the setting for a cowboy movie. But because of the hard work of people in this room, we had a great story to tell. Arizona has wonderful investments in semiconductors, great companies. We have expertise led by our amazing universities at developing the talent of the future. Our community college was an important part of our pitch and their ability to produce the workforce of the future. We wanted to make sure we talked about all of our secret sauce. Our great construction programs here, including some of the best apprenticeship programs in the country. We shared all of that with TSMC as well as a great desire to make sure this would be a success for them. We knew we were competing against some of the great tech hubs of the world, and we are so very honored that all of your hard work together made it possible for TSMC to choose Phoenix, Arizona for this great American manufacturing story. I want to thank my team at the City of Phoenix, led by Jeff Barton. If the Phoenix team could stand up, we want to acknowledge all you have done. A special thank you to Sandra Hoffman and the people who have been working full-time to make sure TSMC is a success. We are working at every level of government together, whether it's making sure we have the right workforce. TSMC is now serving on our workforce board, to just creating the overall environment. As you drove in, you passed Honor Health, which is working to make sure they have Taiwanese physicians to support the amazing work and workforce that is here today. Want to thank the Deer Valley School District, which actually had the state's longest-serving Mandarin language program, but is continuing to invest in Welcome TSMC. TSMC is represented here in the City Council by Councilwoman Ann O'Brien, who has been a great champion for their success, including putting together a wonderful Double 10 festival to make sure that the cultural celebrations that are so important in Taiwan are part of the Welcome here today. So this really is a great success story for American manufacturing, but also for Phoenix. TSMC has told us they appreciate the great business environment here and the warm welcome. We are growing as a city to support them, and we know this is a legacy investment for so many of us here today. The students in school today are inspired by the high-wage jobs, the opportunities of the future, and it's really changing Phoenix for the long term. We're working with 40 business partners of TSMC to try to locate their supply chain here, and it's also supporting the great companies that are creating semiconductors in Phoenix. I want to highlight Spirit Electronics and Marty McCurdy. She is a wonderful veteran and entrepreneur who is now part of the supply chain. Today's announcement makes a big difference for her company that's here today. I want to welcome Perla, who is a graduate of the Community College Quick Start Semiconductor Program, and she is going to be working in semiconductors. My colleagues at the City of Phoenix and I have worked to create great investments with our community colleges so that people who work here today can get jobs at TSMC and all of our great semiconductor employers, and we're going to keep working because this project means so much for the people of Phoenix. 21,000 high-wage construction jobs. That means if you're a pipe fitter, a carpenter, an iron worker, this is changing the economics of your family in a really positive way, and it's also creating jobs for other people in the construction industry. Even if you never get to set foot inside TSMC's advanced fabrication facility, today is a great day for you if you live in Phoenix. I want to thank everyone who's made today a success, although we know the work is just beginning. Thank you.
TSMC's founder, Dr. Morris Chen, you have a dream. I'm the guy to make the dream come true. I need to work very hard. And we thank all the governments, federal government and state government and city governments are here. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good morning, and thank you for coming here join us today. I'm deeply honored that we have been able to gather here to celebrate such a historic milestone for TSMC, which represents our dedication in building a semiconductor ecosystem in the USA in order to better serve our customer, which is a very important part in our Grand Alliance. This project is truly a nod to the Grand Alliance TSMC formed with customers, suppliers, and partners to further our collaboration and unleash innovation. At TSMC, innovation means more than just a new idea. It means putting ideas to practice and bringing about changes. Today, semiconductor manufactured by TSMC are the digital engines inside more than 12,000 products created by over 500 customers each year, from hearing aid, smartphones, cloud data center to satellite, scientific instrument and spacecraft. The biggest brand and services startup almost all collaborate closely with TSMC to bring their product into life. And now, at our customers' request, really, at our customers' request, I want to emphasize that, we are bringing advanced semiconductor process technology to Arizona, where our deep collaborative relationship with customers will help us to capture the growth from the mega trend of high-performance computing, smartphone, automotive, and IoT application in the year ahead, so that we can unleash innovation here on American soil. As we look to the future of TSMC Arizona, there's nothing but excitement. Semiconductor technology is now and will remain fundamental technology for modern life, and we are excited to continue working with our customer building the future of technology here at Fab 21. I would now like to welcome some of our esteemed customers to the stage to share some remarks. Of course, I'm not talking about wafer price, so they should say something good. First, I would like to introduce our first speaker, AMD Chair and CEO, Lisa Su. Hold a second, Lisa, I'm not finished on my introduction yet. AMD is a high-performance computing TSMC partner whose products power the world's most advanced supercomputers, data center, PCs, as well as automotive, aerospace, industry, healthcare, science, and consumer applications. They are committed to delivering the leading-edge technologies and products that push the envelope in high performance and adaptive computing. These are served on President Biden's Council of Advisors of Science and Technology. It's a 2018 Dr. Morris Chen Exemplary Leadership Award recipient and the 2020 IEEE Robert Noyce Award winner. Berosa named her one of the world's best CEOs in 2021. I'm going to continue to introduce my next important customer, NVIDIA's Jensen Huang. NVIDIA is one of the most consequential companies in the history of computing. With the invention of the GPU, NVIDIA pioneered accelerated computing. The engine of the computer graphic and artificial intelligence, and widely recognized as the path forward for engine-efficient data center. I'm sorry, it's energy efficient, not engine, but as I look at the backside. NVIDIA and TSMC have collaborated for nearly 3 decades. Jensen Huang founded NVIDIA and is one of the industry's longest standing founder CEOs. Well, next to my previous boss. He is a 2004 Dr. Morris Chen Exemplary Leadership Award recipient and a recipient of the President's prestigious Robert Noyce Award. Fortune magazine named him its 2017 Business Person of the Year. In 2019, Harvard Business Review ranked him #1 on its World 100 Best Performing CEOs over the lifetime of their tenure. And he is yet another member of the Times 2021 list of the 100 most influential people who are grace our strategy today. The last one, I'd like to introduce our last speaker, Apple's CEO, Tim Cook. Under Tim's leadership, Apple has created groundbreaking technologies that enrich people's life, and he has done so while advancing essential values like privacy, education, and environmental protection. Tim has top Fortune's list of the world's greatest leaders, and Apple has ranked #1 on Fortune's world's most admired company in every year that Tim was a CEO. I'm very grateful that he is with us today. Now, please welcome our first speaker, Lisa Su.
Thank you, CC, for that introduction, and a huge, huge congratulations to Founder Chang, Mark, CC, and the entire TSMC team for this incredible day, for all of the hard work and the vision that have made this historic milestone possible. And I also want to thank the Mayor Gallego and all of the local and state officials, as well as President Biden and Secretary Raimondo, who will be here later today, for all of their tireless support of the U.S. semiconductor ecosystem. Certainly, we feel loved by everyone. You know, as the last few years have shown us, everyone needs semiconductors. Now, I know a lot of our friends here in the audience, we were in semiconductors when it wasn't fashionable. So I've been in semiconductors for 30 years. I started as a process engineer at MIT, and I used to say to people, what do you do? I work in semiconductors. What's that? We build chips. Oh, you mean potato chips? No, semiconductor chips. But as the last few years have shown us, now everyone knows what semiconductors are. The demand for more powerful chips to enable all of our digital services and products plays such an important role in all of our daily lives. Founder Chang, you are an icon for the industry. You invented the foundry business model, and today TSMC is the most important partner for all of us who are chip design companies, or what we would call fabless design companies. Over the last 35 years, TSMC has delivered leading innovation in process and manufacturing technologies. They've built the industry's broadest and most complete ecosystem of EDA, IP, and equipment partners. And really, what they've done is they've enabled all of us in the fabless industry to focus on what we do best, which is designing innovative chips that change the world. At AMD, we are all about pushing the envelope in high performance and adaptive computing to solve some of the world's most important challenges. Whether you're talking about enabling the cloud, or enterprise data centers, or 5G networks, or automotive, or PCs, we are humbled that our technology touches the lives of billions of people every day. Now, we could not do what we do without our partnership with TSMC, which is why we are so excited about today's milestone. A strong, geographically diverse, and resilient supply chain is essential to the global semiconductor industry. TSMC's investment and expansion here in Arizona is extremely important and mission critical, and really extends all that we can do in semiconductors in the United States. I'm really thrilled to be here today to commemorate today's first tool move-in, and I'm even happier to hear Mark's announcement that TSMC is committed to building the second fab here in Phoenix. AMD expects to be a big customer of both fabs, and we're committed to working closely with TSMC and the entire ecosystem to bring the fabs up as quickly as possible, because we do know it's all about partnership. We look forward to the day when our first products come off the line and we can proudly say we are building our highest performance chips here in Arizona. Congratulations again, Founder Chang, for your dream, and Mark, CC, and the entire TSMC team, and to all of the extended teams that have made today possible. We do know it's just the beginning, but this is an incredibly exciting time to be in the semiconductor industry, and I look forward to all that we will do together in the coming years.
Sue. I would now like to invite President and CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, to the stage.
I told Morris last night that I was going to be speaking today, and because this is such a special event for TSMC, that I would write my speech for the first time anybody's ever heard me talk before. And he said, good idea. Mayor Gallego, Morris, and Sophie, Mark, CC, Rick, and all of my friends at TSMC and distinguished guests. I'm delighted to be here to celebrate this historic milestone for TSMC, the United States, the chip industry, and the future of technology. Although, after hearing Morris's remarks, I'm less enthusiastic, because I didn't realize this marks the end of the romantic period and the beginning of the hard work period. I'm delighted to be here. This is a really very special day. And I'd love to offer my perspective on a partnership NVIDIA has treasured for a quarter century and one of our best strategic decisions. Let me tell you why. Chips run software that modernizes and automates the world. Chips drive human progress. Dr. Shen Hu, the scientist who led the seminal work, the invention of the FinFET, wrote in honoring the 75th anniversary of the transistor that the future of the transistor is our future. Indeed, the future of the chip industry is our future, and TSMC is the bedrock. TSMC is the world's largest chip manufacturer. Yet that statistic doesn't do justice to their contributions. They fab a lot of chips, and we're standing in front of a very large fab. But they're much more than a fab. TSMC performs 3 miracles, each incredible in itself. Miracle number 1, serve thousands of customers, as CC mentioned, designing bespoke custom chips. Every chip different, not one alike. Miracle number 2, to build them to order at extremely high volumes or low, up to you, whatever you like. And do so with technology at the limits of physics. Barely possible. And they perform these contradicting miracles at the same time. TSMC is a marvel of engineering, a marvel of technology and manufacturing. But their superpower is an operating system, a corporate culture that engenders trust. We trust them to offer us the most advanced technologies. Trust that they will achieve costs that allow both of us to succeed. Trust that we will have the capacity to grow our business. And trust that their operations will, as Morris repeatedly said, jump through hoops to support our constantly changing needs. While they do so at the same time for everyone else. This trust has made TSMC the cornerstone of a global network, a sprawling ecosystem of thousands of upstream and downstream companies worth trillions of dollars. Since the first time I heard Morris express TSMC's pure play foundry vision 25 years ago, TSMC has become a global platform on which the world's tech industry is built. From our beginning, NVIDIA has entrusted TSMC as the foundation on which we built our company. We invented the GPU and pioneered accelerated computing with chips they built for us. Without concerning ourselves with process technology and manufacturing, we revolutionized computer graphics, scientific computing, artificial intelligence, and self-driving cars. And our ongoing work to advance computing and use its incredible powers to further drug discovery and climate science would not be possible without them. Bringing TSMC's investment to the United States is a master stroke and a game-changing development for the industry. Congratulations, TSMC, on this historic milestone.
And hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here to celebrate this milestone with you. We're joined this afternoon by President Biden, whose presence sends a powerful signal about the significance of this moment. President Biden, thank you for your leadership, and thank you especially for signing the CHIPS Act into law, which will make more and more projects like this one possible. I would also like to thank Secretary Raimondo, Governor Ducey, Governor-elect Hobbs, Senator Kelly, and Mayor Gallego for your leadership. This is an incredibly exciting day for America, for Arizona, and for Apple too. It's a privilege to share the stage today with Dr. Morris Chang. Thank you, Morris, for your many years of leadership and devotion to this amazing company. And thanks to Mark, CC, and everyone at TSMC for all of your important work. As many of you know, we work with TSMC to manufacture the chips that help power our products all over the world. And we look forward to expanding this work in the years to come as TSMC forms new and deeper roots in America. As I look around this facility, I'm reminded of a great engineer and physicist who once wrote, "The future cannot be predicted, but futures can be invented." Those words feel like a fitting mantra for our current moment, one where the unpredictability of the future is surpassed only by the opportunity we have to shape it. At Apple, we strive to do that first and foremost through the technology we create. From iPhone to Mac to Apple Watch, we are committed to making products that enrich people's lives. It's work that demands continuous innovation. And there is perhaps no area where that innovation is making a greater impact than Apple Silicon. Over the past several years, the progress we've made with Apple Silicon has transformed our devices. It has unlocked new levels of performance for our users, enabling them to do things they could never do before. When you stop and think about it, it's extraordinary what chip technology can achieve. And now, thanks to the hard work of so many people, these chips can be proudly stamped, "Made in America." This is an incredibly significant moment. It's a chance for the United States to usher in a new era in advanced manufacturing. It's the chance to create high-tech American jobs, the jobs of the future, the jobs that could define our future. The United States was founded on the notion that a great idea could change the world. It is a place inspired by ingenuity and ambition, by creativity and vision. It is the most fertile ground on the planet for innovation. I know that a company like Apple could only come from America, and we are as committed as ever to giving back to our great country. We are going to continue to design and engineer our core products in the United States, just as we always have. And we are going to continue to deepen our investments in the U.S. economy. In fact, just last year, we accelerated our spending across the country, increasing our commitment to $430 billion over 5 years. These investments will create thousands of American jobs in everything from silicon engineering to 5G technology, while supporting our work with more than 9,000 suppliers in all 50 states. And they reflect our unshakable belief in America's future. Today is only the beginning. Today, we are combining TSMC's expertise with the unrivaled ingenuity of American workers. We are investing in a stronger, brighter future. We are planting a seed in the Arizona desert. And at Apple, we are proud to help nurture its growth. Thank you so very much.
What great remarks by our esteemed guests, and thank you again for joining us in celebrating this occasion. As you heard, 20 months ago, we broke ground on this fab in the open desert of northern Phoenix. Today, we are celebrating a milestone in our progress in bringing the leading chip manufacturing technology to the U.S. We would now like to share a short video on Fab 21 to show the progress and impact of this amazing project. I invite you once again to turn your attention to the screens.
The semiconductor manufacturing process has often been described as the most complex manufacturing process. We make the most complicated devices in the history of mankind.
Many of these chips are embedded in some of the most important technologies in America.
Our phone, computers, of course, televisions, cars, appliances. These are so vitally dependent on something as small as these chips.
And in order to build something very small, you've got to build something very large.
TSMC putting their flag in the ground here in Arizona has been one of the most significant decisions being made of any company. It's a once-in-a-generation type opportunity.
Once you see the site, then you can understand, oh my goodness, this sucker's big.
What we're building is a city.
This morning we have right at 7,500 people working here today.
TSMC's factory is not just the machines, but it's also the people.
We sent over our new hires and their families over to Taiwan for a 12 to 18-month training at our 5-nanometer fab in Taiwan.
It was a bit nerve-wracking to leave America to move to a continent I've never lived in. Obviously, at first, we had a clashing of cultures.
At first, I felt really excited to be immersed in a different culture, but I remember I felt really stressed out because even though I'm Asian, but I know that I cannot speak the language.
We view this kind of diversified culture as an advantage.
Just because we do things in a certain way, there is other way of learning as well.
This experience has changed me in every aspect I can imagine. I've learned about new cultures, even learned some basic Mandarin.
We're doing what other companies and other humans have never done before.
Let's think about the future.
We're bringing jobs back to the United States, building something that's going to be lasting.
This will be the place where the most advanced chips in the world are being made.
This is the new era of emerging technology for the country, and it's happening right here in Phoenix, Arizona.
I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I'm even more excited about what the future holds for TSMC Arizona after watching it. Now comes the moment you've all been waiting for. Today, we're here to celebrate a TSMC milestone on the arrival of our first batch of state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing equipment. This symbolizes that we're getting to the point where we will be able to move in some of the world's most advanced semiconductor manufacturing equipment inside the fab. These boxes behind me hold some of the most advanced, most expensive manufacturing equipment, ranging from EUV tools to wafer cleaning systems to deposition systems. They are true feats of engineering. And as much as we'd like to open them here to show you what great pieces they are, they cost millions of dollars and belong in our clean room. So instead, we're going to celebrate. Let's pop some champagne. To help us, I would like to invite our longtime suppliers who work closely with TSMC Arizona to get this first batch of equipment here to the stage. Please welcome to the stage Applied Materials President and CEO, Gary Dickerson. ASML President and CEO, Peter Wenning. ASM CEO, Benjamin Lowe. KLA Corporation President and CEO, Rick Wallace. Lam Research President and CEO, Tim Archer. And Tokyo Electronics CEO, Tony Koei. I would also like to invite back to the stage Founder Morris Chang, Chairman Mark Liu, CEO CC Wei, President and CEO of TSMC Arizona Rick Cassidy, SVP Brian Harrison, Mayor Kate Gallego, Tim Cook, Lisa Su, and Jensen Huang. Take a group photo with TSMC executives today, guest speakers, and as well as our suppliers. If we could get all the photos taken, I'll jump off stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite you to take a short break to enjoy the provided refreshments before we resume the rest of our program.
Mic 1, let's check the backup mic. Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2 check. VOG, VOG from OSA, VOG from OSA. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Test 1, 2.
whatever. Don't be distracted. Just power down. Power down. Fine. Just power down.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Doug Ducey.
Hello, and thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today and to welcome President Biden and showcase Arizona's leadership in bringing semiconductor manufacturing back to the United States. Chairman Liu, Dr. Chang, Secretary Raimondo, Mr. Cook, Senator Kelly, Mayor Gallego, Governor-elect Hobbs, President Crow, and President Robbins, along with all our esteemed guests from near and far. It's great to be back at TSMC's Arizona facility to celebrate this major milestone. As I stand with you here today on the site of TSMC's high-tech chip manufacturing operations, I'm reminded of my first face-to-face meeting with TSMC leadership at the state capitol in 2017. Back then, this corner of Phoenix looked much different. The buildings, the cranes, the work crews, none of this was here. A lot has transpired in Arizona and around the globe since then. But one thing has remained the same. Arizona continues to offer the premier environment for advanced manufacturing anywhere in the world. This was on my mind when we discussed TSMC's vision, a vision to build one of the world's most technologically advanced chip factories on U.S. soil. I know no place would better complement their operations than Arizona, and it's a special day to now see this vision take shape. When TSMC looked at Arizona, they saw a land of opportunity. Today, TSMC has begun to transform this landscape into a global technology epicenter. There is no better proof of how important this facility will be than by President Biden's visit today. We're eager to show this impressive operation firsthand. Upon completion, this facility and the newly announced second fab will employ thousands of Arizonans and have the capacity to produce 600,000 high-tech wafers a year. The semiconductor chips made right here in Arizona will drive the engines of growth far beyond the northern edge of Phoenix. These chips, TSMC's Arizona-made chips, will power economies around the world. TSMC's presence has attracted dozens of Taiwan-based suppliers expanding to Arizona, from companies such as Sunlit Chemical, Changcheng, Kanto PPC, LCY Chemical, and more. To date, the total investment from supplier companies exceeds $1 billion. And we are so grateful for the many new partnerships we've been able to establish over the past few years. Those partnerships were on full display when I traveled to Taiwan in August and sat down with not just TSMC, but many of our suppliers as well. I had the opportunity to meet President Tsai Ing-wen and reaffirm Arizona's longstanding and deep commitment to Taiwan. For those in the audience that may not know, Arizona's partnership with Taiwan extends back decades. For more than 25 years, Taiwan pilots flying the F-16 fighter jet have trained at Luke Air Force Base west of Phoenix. We are proud of Arizona's role in helping Taiwan bolster its defense and protect its people. The Arizona-Taiwan relationship is truly a special one one rooted in friendship and trust, and with ample opportunity to grow. When TSMC set out to build its new high-tech fab, they had all 50 states to choose from. They chose Arizona because of our robust and growing talent pool, unbeatable business environment, and unparalleled quality of life. In addition to TSMC, Arizona's semiconductor landscape includes global leaders like Intel, NXP, ON Semiconductor, Microchip, Benchmark Electronics, and more. As the U.S. semiconductor industry continues to advance in the years ahead, Arizona will be the engine powering its growth. One example of this is Apple, which recently announced it will source chips from right here in Arizona, a point of pride for our state and a huge economic win. In closing, I'd like to thank Chairman Liu, Dr. Chang, everyone at TSMC, as well as their clients and customers for joining us today. I'd also like to recognize the many partners who made this project possible. This includes 2 federal administrations, our congressional delegation, many of whom are here today, the City of Phoenix, GPEC, the Arizona State Land Department, local utilities, and more. They all played a role in passing the CHIPS Act, which will bolster the semiconductor industry nationwide. Finally, I want to recognize Sandra Watson and her team at the Arizona Commerce Authority, who have poured so much energy and dedication into this project. Today we gather in celebration with special thanks and gratitude to TSMC and all their partners. The work being done around us is that of national and international significance. And the best part is, the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo and Senator Mark Kelly.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is wonderful to be here. It's a great day. By the way, if this is late fall or early winter in Arizona, I'll take it. We just arrived from D.C. It's wonderful. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here to join Dr. Chang and Chairman Liu and, of course, President Biden to mark this incredible milestone. When the President called me and asked me to serve in his cabinet as Commerce Secretary, he said, I want you to come work with me to rebuild and revitalize American manufacturing, putting Americans to work making things in America. And that's exactly what we're doing. And I was so proud to stand by the President when he signed the CHIPS and Science Act earlier this year. And to all of you who helped us get that across the finish line, I want to say thank you. As many of you know, right now in the United States, we don't really make any of the world's most sophisticated, leading-edge, cutting-edge chips. And that's not just an economic security or vulnerability. That's a national security issue, a national security vulnerability. Today, we say we're changing that. TSMC's investment in Arizona and their future investments are going to help transform America's semiconductor industry. The cutting-edge chips that are going to be produced right here in Arizona will be more advanced than any chips that have ever been manufactured on U.S. soil. And we are so proud of that. And I also understand, I was talking with the governor and the federal delegation on the way over here, there are already over 155 suppliers in the supply chain to TSMC interested also to locate in Arizona. So we are building an entire ecosystem. And this is exactly the kind of investment that we intend to catalyze, incentivize, and keep going with the Chips for America program. Because by investing here in America, we're going to build a domestic supply chain, strengthen our economic and national security, unleash the next generation of research and development and innovation, and create good-paying, high-quality jobs. And I couldn't be more excited to get to work investing the CHIPS Act. And thank you to Congress for making that happen. So I have to thank President Biden for his leadership. I want to thank the members of Congress right here in Arizona, all of whom supported it, led by fantastic Senator Kelly, who is here. Give him a hand. Fresh off a hard-fought and well-earned and well-deserved re-election victory, and Representatives Gallego, Grijalva, O'Halloran, and Stanton, all of whom voted for the CHIPS Act. Today, let's celebrate. Today, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate TSMC. Let's celebrate Arizona, and let's celebrate America. And then let's get to work to make this as big and as successful as it can be. So thank you for your support of me, and please join me in welcoming Senator Mark Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What a fantastic day today is. Secretary Raimondo, you've been a terrific leader in these efforts to pass the CHIPS Act, but also to see the goals of the CHIPS Act become a reality. So thank you for all your hard work, and welcome back. Welcome back to Arizona. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And Mr. President, we're glad to have you here to mark such an exciting milestone for TSMC and for the state of Arizona. This is a big deal for Arizona. Today is a big deal. And it's also a big deal for the entire country. Today, the United States only manufactures about 10% of the world's microchips. And of the best chips in the world, we manufacture 0%. But today, that is about to change. And I'm excited for you and everyone here to see how Arizona is leading the way. Because this is exactly what we envisioned when we worked with Republicans and Democrats to pass and fund the CHIPS Act. Getting companies like TSMC and their suppliers to expand their operations in the United States of America. Now, this facility will soon manufacture the most advanced microchips in the world, and it's going to be done right here in our state. For years, politicians have talked about bringing manufacturing and supply chains back to our country. Well, now we're actually doing it. That's going to lower costs for Americans and strengthen our national security by ensuring that the most advanced chips do not need to cross an ocean to get here. And over the next few years, it's going to create tens of thousands of new high-paying jobs, many of which do not require a 4-year degree. Now, not too long ago, I met a woman named Tarjay, and she was unemployed for over a year. She couldn't find a job. And she was out of work. She had 3 kids, and she was looking for an opportunity. And surprisingly, she found in her spam folder, now we often don't go looking in there for stuff, but she found an advertisement for a program at a community college here in our state, at Estrella Mountain Community College, called the Quick Start Program. She started that program, which was 10 days long, and at the end of the program, she got an interview with a semiconductor manufacturer, and today she is a semiconductor manufacturing technician here in our state. Now, that story, because of this plant and the ones that will follow, will be repeated here thousands and thousands of times. This is such a win for our state. For folks who do not have a 4-year degree, they will now be able to raise a family on that salary as a semiconductor manufacturing technician. So this is a win for the state of Arizona. It's a win for our universities, for our community colleges, but most importantly for our global competitiveness. We're on the road to a new future where the best chips in the world are made from start to finish right here in America. And that road runs through the state of Arizona. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here today for this, this exciting announcement. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TSMC Chairman Dr. Mark Liu.
As the semiconductor manufacturing has truly become vital to the modern economy, there has been a growing consensus to revitalize semiconductor manufacturing in the United States. Under the exceptional leadership of President Biden, and with great efforts from Secretary Raimondo, this initiative was finally transformed into real and tangible action through the forward-looking measures of the CHIPS and Science Act. This state-of-the-art facility behind us is a testimony that TSMC is also taking a giant step forward to help build a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem in the United States. Today, it is truly our great honor to have President Biden and Secretary Raimondo join us to celebrate this significant event. Now, please join me in warmly welcoming the stage the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Have any seats, but if you have a seat, please take them. I once said that when I first became president, and they said, Biden is so slow he doesn't realize there are no seats out here. Anyway, thank you, Mark, for the introduction. I appreciate it very much. Your company's commitment to building, as you put it, is a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem in the United States. That's what we're doing with your help. Thank you to everyone at TSMC, especially Morris Chang, who founded this company in 1987 and grew it into a global giant. But the most significant thing about him is his wife, Sophie. I tell you, believe it or not, Sophie worked in my first senatorial campaign when I ran for the Senate. True story. So I owe an awful lot to this company. We had a lieutenant governor named S.B. Wu and his wife Kathy are on my staff, and they got her involved. And so I want to thank her very much for that. Mayor, thanks for welcoming us to your city, and Gov, you and I are different sides, but we see and share the same vision as Arizona is a hub, literally a hub for technical change that's going to take place, and that's well underway. Governor-elect Hobbs, is she Governor-elect Hobbs here? I don't think. Gov, congratulations. Congratulations. Well, I tell you what, you're starting off in the right place. This is going to be an incredible asset to the state of Arizona. A special thanks to the incredible Arizona Democratic members of Congress who flew out with me today from Washington. Senator Kelly, you deliver for Arizona every single day, including on the CHIPS and Science Act, which will bring jobs to this state and would not be law without you, and that's not hyperbole. Arizona is lucky to have you fighting for them for the next 6 years, and Gabby Gifford, a great friend, is here as well. When I gave Gabby the Presidential Medal of Freedom this summer, I said she was one of the most courageous people I've ever known. People of Tucson elected her to the Congress 3 times because they trusted her, they believe in her, and she's the embodiment of that core American trait. Never, ever, ever, ever give up, and she never does. And I want to thank Senator Sinema, who can't be with us today. She's in Washington working out another major piece of legislation. A tremendous advocate for the people of Arizona and a leader in so many issues important to this state. 4 of Arizona's representatives are here with me, Ruben, Greg, Tom, and Raul. And where are you guys? We flew out together. They're still talking to me. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, very much for all you've done to get us here today. And champions for their constituents working to build an economy that doesn't leave anyone behind. Gina Raimondo is an outstanding Secretary of Commerce, a fierce champion of U.S. industry, especially in semiconductors. I want to thank you to the business leaders here today. Tim Cook of Apple, where are you, Tim? He buys a few of these little chips. And he's a small customer here at this outfit, between 25 and 35% of their. But anyway, I hope they're treating you well. And Sanjay of Micron. Sanjay has represented more than 24 tech and manufacturing companies, and you're here because you're seeing what we're all seeing. American manufacturing is back, folks. American manufacturing is back. I recently took a trip literally around the world, starting in Egypt and ending up in Guam and finally coming home, ending with a meeting in Indonesia with the G20. The countries with many of the largest economies in the world. And what was clear in those meetings is the United States is better positioned than any other nation to lead the world economy in the years ahead if we keep our focus. There's a strong sense from all the world leaders of the resiliency of the American economy, and we're seeing it here at home with investments like the one we're talking about today. Together, with the help of your elected leaders here today, we've had an extraordinary 2 years of progress. We passed the American Rescue Plan, keeping tens of thousands of cops, firefighters, teachers, first responders on the job in all 50 states when revenues dropped because of the nature of the economy. We fully vaccinated more than 220 million people. We're rebuilding our infrastructure, fixing our roads, our bridges, our airports, strengthening American manufacturing by creating 750,000 manufacturing jobs just since I become president. What I'm most excited about is people are starting to feel a sense of optimism as they see the impact of the achievements in their own lives. It's going to accelerate in months ahead, and as part of the broad story about the economy we're building that works for everyone. One that grows from the bottom up and the middle out, that positions Americans to win the economic competition of the 21st century. When we grow it that way, the poor have a shot, the middle class do well, and the wealthy do very well. My dad used to have a saying. He said, you say, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck, Joey. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your child in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Thousands of Arizonans are going to be able to look their kid in the eye because of what you're doing here today and saying, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Back in April 2021, I met with Mark and other industry leaders. TSMC had made a $12 billion investment here in Phoenix to build the first fab to make semiconductors in the United States. Now the equipment is ready to move in. Next year, commercial operations are going to begin. And today, TSMC has announced a second major investment. They will construct a second fab here in Phoenix to build chips, 3 nano chips, the 3 nano chip. Chips that are 3 nano, and you know what I'm saying. Nano, no, I don't know. But look, these are the most advanced semiconductor chips on the planet. The chips will power iPhones and MacBooks, as Tim Cook can attest. Apple had to buy all the advanced chips from overseas. Now they're going to bring more of their supply chain here home. It could be a game changer. All told, TSMC is investing $40 billion here in Arizona, the largest foreign investment in the history of this state. Over 10,000 construction jobs and 10,000 high-tech jobs will be created. And I want to thank everyone in this company for making this happen. You know, I know our host won't mind my pointing out that America invented the chip. Morris Chang was a pioneer in the era of graduating from MIT and getting his start at Texas Instruments. Federal investment helped reduce the cost of those chips, creating a market and an entire industry that America led. Over 30 years ago, America had more than 30% of the global chip production. Then something happened. American manufacturing, the backbone of our economy, began to get hollowed out. Companies moved jobs overseas. Today we're down to producing only around 10% of the world's chips, despite leading the world in research and design of new chip technologies. But folks, where is it written? Where is it written that America can't lead the world once again in manufacturing? I don't know where that's written, and we're proving it can. Not just here in America. Micron is investing $100 billion to build semiconductor factories in Syracuse, New York. Intel is investing $20 billion to do the same in Ohio. IBM is investing $20 billion in Poughkeepsie, New York. We just went up there. These investments are helping us build and strengthen the supply chain here in America. I want to be clear. As we build a stronger supply chain, our allies and partners are building alongside us as well. Some of the companies here today are customers that are going to buy these chips made here. Some are suppliers that are going to help make these chips. And they all depend on a strong supply chain. That's why what we're doing here in Arizona matters across the country and around the world. Folks, as we see here in Phoenix, the United States is a top destination for companies across the globe looking to make investments. because we have a world-class, highly skilled, committed workforce, union labor. And more than, you can clap for that. More than 3,000 union workers, most highly trained and best in the world, are helping build this fab. The second fab will be built with union labor as well, and we're working with companies, community colleges, technical schools, universities, union-led apprentice programs and training programs. I've had a conversation with the Business Roundtable, all the major chambers of commerce. The reason why business should be hiring union folks, if you don't mind my saying, is simple. They're the best in the world. We're the single greatest technicians in the world. We're the best laborers in the world. And you build the best products. But you don't just decide that you want to be a pipe fitter or electrician like most people think. It takes 4 or 5 years of hard work as an apprentice. It's like going to college. You're the best trained workers in the world, and Wall Street didn't build this country, although there's a lot of good folks there. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class. As I said, we're making a once-in-a-generation investments in our nation's roads, bridges, railroads, ports, airports, lead-free water systems, high-speed internet. The biggest investment in American infrastructure since Eisenhower's interstate highway system. And here in Phoenix, we're building a new taxiway for Sky Harbor Airport to cut down how long planes wait to take off and arrive at the gate after landing. We're making flying in and out of Phoenix smoother and more economic. We're building a pedestrian bicycle bridge across the river in South Phoenix, extending light rail to connection families in South Phoenix with jobs and opportunities downtown. Down the road in Buckeye, Core Power is making lithium-ion batteries to power electric vehicles and electric grid storage. It's a $1.2 billion investment. It's going to create thousands of good manufacturing jobs, 90% of which don't require a college degree, and yet you get a good wage. And we're replacing Phoenix diesel buses with new models powered by clean energy to significantly reduce pollution, especially for the folks getting on and off of those buses. Diesel exhaust can really make people sick. That's why we've been helping school districts all across America electrify their school buses to help kids avoid childhood asthma. And as of now, more than 326,000 households in Arizona are getting affordable high-speed internet thanks to our investment in infrastructure, with much more to come. When Arizonans see the big picture in your hometowns, cranes going up, shovels in the ground, workers with hard hats, I want you to feel the way I feel. Pride. Pride. We can do, what we can do together is just anything, virtually anything. Folks, here's the bottom line. Our approach to building the economy of the future is from the bottom up and the middle out, and it's working. We've added jobs every single month of my presidency, 10.5 million new jobs, 750,000 of them manufacturing jobs. Exports are up, which means we're making things here in America and shipping the products overseas rather than shipping the jobs overseas to make things overseas and bring them back home. And we have much more to do. All this is why the economy grew 2.9% last quarter. And now inflation, the grocery store is coming down. Prices of things like clothing, televisions, appliances are going down. And there's good news for the holiday season. Gas prices have fallen below the levels they are before Putin's invasion of Ukraine. It's going to take time to get inflation back to normal levels as we keep our job market resilient. We could see setbacks along the way, to state the obvious. But we're laser focused on this. And all the hard work is making a real difference for people, including folks right here in Arizona, like Patricia McKinley, who owns her own small trucking business here in Phoenix. She has 5 employees. The pandemic hit her company hard. But these new infrastructure projects for Arizona mean more work for her and her team, a chance to grow her business, to secure her business. And Paul Sorosa, who grew up picking seasonal produce here in Arizona, his parents believed in education. So Paul went to college and studied business. He launched a cleaning business. Now he has over 100 employees in his company. TSMC is now his biggest customer. And now they're expanding into Phoenix, Paul will be hiring a lot more workers. These are countless stories like these across the country where people are benefiting from what you all are doing. People working hard every day, never giving up, seizing every opportunity they can to get ahead. That's who this is about. Folks like Patricia and Paul. And they're why I'm unapologetic about fighting for American workers and getting the economy to work for working people. Let me close with this. It's been a rough few years for hardworking Americans, for businesses as well. A lot of families, things are still pretty rough. But there are bright spots where America is reasserting itself, and the innovation and manufacturing boom here in Arizona is one of those places. I ask leaders of companies like TSMC this question. When the United States decides to invest considerable resources in a new industry that we need to build up, does that encourage business or to get them in the game, or does it discourage them? The answer is it encourages them. Federal investment attracts private sector investment, creates jobs in industry, and it demonstrates we're all in this together. And that's what today's about. I've never been more optimistic, and I mean this, I've been around a long while, as you can see. But I've never been more optimistic about America's future, and I really mean that. Never. We're building a better America. We just have to keep going, and I know we can. We're proving it's never, ever, ever, ever been a good bet to bet against America. Ever, ever, ever. Folks, we just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there is virtually nothing beyond our capacity if we work together. Not a single thing. So let's go keep this moving. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ladies and